Hello YouTube. As discussed in a video earlier, Elden Ring charity event is coming up next month on February 25th, the 1-year anniversary of Elden Ring, which is insane because it just feels like a few weeks ago I was on here making videos about how one day they would announce the title of this game, and then we had to sit around for a year after that talking about how one day they would release they would give us a release date for this game, and that went on forever. It feels like that was just, weeks ago, but that was about, more than a year ago, because we're almost at the 1-year anniversary of the game coming out. So my homeboys, the Dashing Saint and Stochastic GD, are putting together a charity event, and the charity event will be on February 25th on PC and PlayStation 5. There's 2 different events happening. On the PlayStation 5, we have a bunch of content creators like myself, The Coop, Lost My Sanity. There's a bunch that I'm not sure are have given their official word that they're in or not. But there's a bunch. And we have all created covenants that players can join, and you can join as many covenants as you want. It doesn't matter. Just make sure that you follow the rules of the covenant when you load up in the arena to fight as that covenant. So if you're using that covenant's password, make sure you have the right name and armor or weapon or whatever the covenant asks you to do. My covenant is the family. And the family is, you have to have some sort of familial title in your name. So this character is called Brother Virtue, but you could be Sister Virtue or Sister Mercy or whatever. Uncle Master, I don't care. Uncle Bloodman, just, something. Brother, sister, sibling, aunt, uncle, father. You're just not allowed to be mother, because there's only one mother, and it's the formless mother. So you can't be mother. The second thing you need is Bloodflame Talon, and preferably Blood Moon. But you don't have to have Blood Moon. But you do have to have Bloodflame Talon. And the reason being is I want to see you do some cool combos with Bloodflame Talon. The next thing you're going to need is a piece of Moog-related chest armor so that we look uniform. Everybody's like, oh, can I use this? Can I use that instead? No. We have to look uniform. That's the point. We're a cult. We're a bunch of weird blood cultists. We have to look similar. I don't care if you wear the Moog armor, the Sanguine Noble's armor, even the Surgeon's armor is fine. I think there's a blood-stained tabard. If you wanted to wear that, you could wear that. Okay, for your helmet, this is free. This is open to interpretation. Just something with a horror aesthetic. Now, horror can mean a lot of things, and so it's on purpose here that I leave this up to your discretion. If you think that the helmet invokes horror, then it probably does, and it's fine. Okay, that's my covenant. So the way this works is the streamers are the covenant leaders, and they will choose 2 lieutenants to act as VIPs. If a streamer goes up against another Covenant's VIPs and wins that arena match. This is level 60, by the way, with plus 12 weapons, right? And Spirit Ashes are allowed. Fully upgraded Spirit Ashes, even. I'm trying to make sure I got that weapon upgrade right. I'm pretty sure it's, 60 with plus 12 weapons. That's plus 5 Somber. Alright, so anyway, we'll all get in the arena and just fight. And if a streamer goes up against a VIP, another streamer, or one of that other streamer's lieutenants, and they win, then money is donated to a charity of their choice. I have chosen a bail relief fund here in Nashville. For those of you who are not familiar with the way the legal system works in America, essentially, if you are charged with a crime, a police officer will take you to jail, and you have a chance to bail out. So what that means is they're going to put some sum of money up, and they're going to say, okay, if you want to leave jail, you have to pay this. And if you don't pay it, you have to sit in jail until your court date, which can be, months. It can be a month. It could be months. And you just have to sit there. So if you're poor and you get arrested and you can't afford to pay your bail, if you had a job, you've lost it. It's gone. And it's just stupid. It's just a stupid system. And it's just fundamentally dumb on just the most basic level that you can imagine. There are different... I worked I worked in a jail for like 5 years, so I'm very familiar with how this works and the way that the system is set up. Not a fan. It's essentially punishment for poor people regardless of whether or not they've committed a crime. And even if they've committed a crime, if it's something small, they've essentially just lost their job and have to restart everything for no reason other than they're poor. Doesn't seem great. Doesn't seem like the best. Doesn't seem to be like the best system. When you appear in front of the judge after you've been arrested, if you bailed out, if you bonded out of jail, you go in front of the judge, and the judge says, well, what have you been doing since you've been arrested? And you can say, oh, I went back to work, Your Honor. I've been working. I'm straight and narrow. I had this slip up, but now it's fine, and I'm being a productive member of society, and I got a job, and I'm doing the thing. And the judges typically are, oh, well, look at you, aren't you great? You're a productive member of society. But if you can't afford to do that, the judge is like, well, what have you done since you've been arrested? And you get to say, oh, I've sat in jail. That's what I've done. It just is stupid. So anyway, all across the country, there are these bail relief funds. And essentially what they do is they just pay the bails of people who have been arrested so that they can get out of jail before their court date, so that hopefully they are able to, keep their jobs and not just immediately start, not immediately lose their jobs after being arrested. Essentially being punished before they're ever convicted. Say what you want to, but these people are essentially being punished before they're convicted. So the bail relief fund just bails people out until their court date. And after spending 5 years working in a jail and essentially just punishing poor people for being poor, it feels like a nice little way for me to burn off some bad karma, selfishly. So that's what I'm doing. That's the charity that I've picked. But every streamer has picked their own charity. I encourage you to look around and see what they're playing for, and if you find something near and dear to your heart, join up with that covenant. Alternatively, just find a covenant that you think is wearing a cool hat or whatever, and join that covenant. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's just an excuse really to get us in the arenas, all goofing off and having a good time. But also, we have covenants now. We have player covenants. When I've been doing invasions with my character, and I've already ran into other family members during invasions, which has been nice. Absolutely beautiful. Love to see that when you're invading, a group that has the Taunter's tongue on, and then another family member shows up, and these two psychos using Bloodflame Talons run up on you, dressed similarly. It's great with the cool names, and it's just something that we can keep doing. So it's something that I wanted to put some thought into. I don't know if any of you guys remember Dark Souls 3 Peeves player covenant, the Bloodshades. This is kind of similar, but the skew here is that we're using Bloodflame Talons, which is a spell that I love that I just don't see a lot of people use. There are other people that use it and that use it well, but not enough people use it. And I love Bloodflame Talons. It's like the perfect setup for like magic to melee combos, or magic to magic combos, depending on how you want to play it. Not enough people use Bloodflame Talons, so I've made an entire covenant around using Bloodflame Talons. And yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I've gone over the stats and everything for this in another video, but I'll put the stats at the end of this video as well so that you can see what I've done. This is definitely not like the most efficient thing you could do. Oh, I should also point out, no white mask. No Vare's white mask in the Covenant. But the Bloodflame Talons combos, the Bloodflame Blade, you would want to put Bloodflame Blade on a weapon that already has bleed on it, like a katana would be great. The Scavenger's Curved Sword. I think there's another Curved Sword that has bleed. It might be the Bandit's Curved Sword. I forget. A dagger that has innate bleed. Just anything really. Anything that comes with innate bleed. The Flamberge. I think the Imp Greatsword. The Forked Greatsword. I think it has innate bleed. Anything that has innate bleed, if you put Bloodflame Blade on it, you are increasing that bleed buildup like exponentially. It's huge. I'm using the Warhawk Talon, which is not efficient at all. However, I love this weapon, and I've always wanted to make a build that was specifically like a Warhawk Talon build, and not, something else. And now I've got my Bloodflame Talon and my Warhawk Talon, so it's like the Talon build, which works out nice. But the Talon does not have innate bleed, so the only bleed on it is what's coming from Bloodflame Blade. So as soon as that buff wears off, it's not building up bleed anymore. I went and grabbed if you watched the video, I'm sorry, interrupted myself, but if you watched the video where I went over this build, I showed off the talismans and stuff. What I've done is I've gone and I've grabbed the old Lord's Talisman, and it increases the buff duration of Bloodflame Blade from 1 minute to like 1 minute and 20 seconds ish. I timed it. I don't remember the exact results, but I think it was less than 1:30. I think it was 1 minute and 20 seconds is how long it increased it. But that's pretty good. As you can see me equipping it there. So also, I had used Fire Grant Me Strength, Flame Grant Me Strength. I took it off the build because it cost a lot of FP and it didn't last very long. But with the Old Lord Talisman, it does last for a while. So I put that back on the build. And what I did was I took I had a few levels in Faith. I got rid of those levels. Started as Prophet. So I'm at 16 Faith, and I'm wearing the Two Fingers Talisman. That extra Faith is increasing the buff of Bloodflame Blade. But I took some of those points out of Faith, and I'm just using the Two Fingers Talisman now, which puts me at 21 Faith. And I took all the extra points there and I put them in Dex so that I would do more damage, period. But yeah, I'll show the stats here, and come join the family. It'll be a good time. Later, y'all.